literally show you the Korea that you've been wanting to see.
Yes, it is time to experience the nooks and crannies of Korea as if with your own 2 feet on
K-Patch
with Jennifer.
It's a Thursday. We know that's K-Patch Day and we know that's Jennifer's Corner, but we don't know Jennifer without the mask. It's a first on video radio. If you've never watched video radio before,
please don't shed light on my face.
Turn it
Peter.
on today. You get to see the wonderful, beautiful Jen in the flesh. Now you got so many compliments. Tropical saying you are one hot mama. Always so fashionable, Jen.
Oh my God. Thank you for such lovely compliment. I'm really flattered. I mean, I really feel naked, really. It's been like forever since I've been without wearing the mask.
You're right. Like in Korea, we're so good at wearing masks, like everywhere. Unless you're at home, or you're at a restaurant eating, you don't have the mask off. So the first time I did this as well, I was like, what's missing? I feel really naked.
Yeah.
Silver Granny says, I do believe this is the first time seeing Jen's full face.
Oh my God.
You know, I think
guys.
We've now worked together for quite a while, a good few months. I think it's the first time properly having a conversation. It's nice to meet you for the first time.
Such an odd feeling, isn't it?
I think mask people and then the people without the mask, we're like almost different beings as well.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Well, yes, if you ever want to put the mask back on, you're more than welcome to as well,
Maybe in
Jen.
like 1 minute, I will just hide myself. I don't know.
But everyone is so happy to see you
Thank
like this.
you.
Stacey saying you look real beautiful. Not fake beautiful, real, okay? Today's hashtag, and Jen is on YouTube, Jen from Korea, if you want to follow her there. You teach Korean there as well, right?
Oh, yes, I do.
So today's hashtag, it's tricky in English, I believe, nunchi. How would you explain it to our listeners? I've been doing a terrible job, I think.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I heard you talking about the hashtag today, and you said it's in English, sense.
Maybe like the closest word for
That's the closest word.
overall concept, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
So in English, you guys don't use any word like close to that?
So when you talk about, you know, 눈치 있다, 눈치 없다, you don't really have one word for that. Like he's got he's got good sense, sounds really weird. But we use this phrase, you know how to read a room. And that means when you walk into a room, you can tell how to behave. You can tell what to say, what not to say.
Read the room.
Yeah. And so if you make an inappropriate joke or you're like too serious or too not serious compared to everyone else, people will say, read the room, you idiot, kind of thing. Yeah, so I don't know.
Well, I think if you look at the word itself, we have the word 눈. It's literally eyes.
Okay.
And, well, it doesn't necessarily always mean look into people's eyes, but I think it has a lot of meaning with that word because when you communicate with people, you know, most of the time, it's all about people's eyes, isn't it?
Oh, that's interesting.
So I think it involves the meaning that when you talk with somebody, you really have to look into one's eyes. That's the first message. And I mean, this is really Korean culture-ish word, I would say. Really hard to explain it.
Yeah.
And I think it can also refer to one's ability to have a better social relationship, social ability.
Yeah, if you know how to read the room, then you will get on well at the company, at the school, anywhere. I think nunchi is like the most important quality a person can have. Even if I can't explain it in English, like if you have good nunchi, you can go far in life. That's what
very
I think.
true.
Yeah. Because people without it seem to fail.
Yeah, so we say 눈치 있다, 눈치 없다. So whether you have the 눈치 or you don't have the 눈치. And it's always tricky, really.
Oh, Faz has come up with a good phrase in English, reading between the lines.
Oh.
That's good. Yeah, you can't quite put your finger on it, but you just feel it.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff, guys. Keep on telling us, maybe in your language, if you've got something similar. Where are we going today? People are curious. They want to know if your family's coming out in the video as well, Jen. They often like seeing your mum or your kids.
Oh, well, guys, today I'm going to take you all to this lovely Ireland.
Ooh.
In Han River.
Oh, in the Han River.
Unfortunately, not the Jeju Island.
Not
Maybe
quite
one
as exotic as Jeju.
That's true.
In the Han River. I don't know if we've shown any videos. Oh, we did show one time a video of, there's a little moon sculpture there, I think on the edge of this island.
Oh.
But we're going there for a special event today.
Yes. So, we are always looking for trendy culture, and festival is one good element. And they had this really fascinating street festival here in Nodeul Island.
All right, let's check it out. In the heart of Seoul, slap bang in the middle of the Han River. Here's Nodeul Island. Ooh, it's very cool looking, very minimalist.
This is the grand view, that's true. Not that many people, quite calm.
Is this a weekday?
Soothing.
A weekend?
I went there on Sunday.
Okay, so
yes.
this is a weekend, but it's
Sunday
not too
afternoon.
crowded.
And here you're seeing the performance.
Oh.
And this is called Tipping Point. And they were raising awareness about climate change,
Are those
global warming,
refrigerators?
and they're using the fridge.
That's
How
interesting.
creative!
Very creative. It looks
And
a
you
bit
can
dangerous.
It does. And there's a human inside the fridge.
What?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Oh my goodness. These are like
This
kind
was
of
personally my number one
acrobats.
performance. Very impressive.
Wow, they are
And
so
generally,
creative.
the festival was giving message about protecting the nature. As you can see from here, you're seeing the beautiful green cups that kind of looks like a forest.
Yeah.
And underneath the cups, you're seeing a little sweet space where kids can play with the mud.
Lovely.
Yep.
And this is the street art festival,
Yeah,
right?
this is what I liked about the festival. You can not only just see it, but you can actually be part of it. You can experience it.
You can be in the exhibitions.
Exactly.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
And here is where you can have the memory of cradle, which wasn't so comfy,
Oh,
I would
like
have to say.
A
There's my
baby's
hubby.
cradle. He's like, don't let my face come in the video.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not that comfy.
It's actually, it's made of metal, so you can imagine how heavy and cold it was. But still, I think it was a nice experience to have that cradle time, and I think they wanted to let us to have that moment of going back to your baby days and
when
just
you
kind
were
of go over your life,
rocking
nature,
in a cradle.
universe.
That's very deep interpretation, Jen. I love it.
I tried a lot.
It does look perfect for a giant baby, or as I see other people, two people doing it, and then it's kind of like a seesaw as well.
I think so, yeah.
And that's all part of the art as well.
It is, and there are actually many more. But I think they really did a nice job, smart way to really just gather people together and let them just feel it, just experience all those different activities.
Yeah, because that space
Yeah.
itself, Nodeul, is really good and driven for the environment because you're not allowed to park there. There's hardly anywhere in Korea where I think you cannot park easily nearby. But because this is in the middle of the Han River and they have no parking for regular folk, you have to take public transport or a taxi or ride a bicycle. That's how I got
true.
there. I got a darangi with my wife
Oh, you did?
about a year ago. And it's a lovely ride there.
Oh.
But it's really encouraging, I guess, less pollution and stuff from people. How did you actually get there, Jen?
Well, I took the subway myself as well, public transportation.
And then walk from the subway station to Nodeul?
Yes, it didn't take that long. I
Okay.
think it was less than 1,000 meter, something
Okay.
700 something. And we had to cross the bridge where you can enjoy the Han River as well, that you're about to see in the second video as well.
Yeah, because there isn't a subway station exit that comes out in the middle of the Han River, is it? That would be slightly dangerous. So I think you get off at the bank and then, like you said, you walk to the middle. Is there a fee to see this festival?
Well, you don't have to pay the entrance fee, but you have to pay extra the ticket fee to watch the performance up close.
Oh, the one that we saw with the fridges.
Yes. So if you see it closely, there are people sitting right in front of the stage.
Yeah.
But like myself, there were many other people with a distance can just watch it.
Oh.
But I found it was not bad. It was okay.
Yeah, I saw your camera. Maybe you zoomed in, but before you zoomed in, it wasn't that far. Like you could still still get the gist of what was happening. I hope they're all right with us promoting them on our show as well. I'm sure they will. They're saying, did you say Noodle Island?
Nodeul입니다. It's Nodeul.
It doesn't mean noodles or anything like that.
Not at all, guys.
Okay.
No is from actually 백로, which is white heron or heron, the kind of a bird.
The bird.
Yeah. And 들 is from 돌, the stone, the stepping stone. So from a document from Joseon Dynasty, Nodeul is a place where these birds used to have a nice time. And it wasn't actually originally in Ireland. It was a sandy beach.
Ooh, lovely.
I didn't know that either. And in 1917, during the colonial era, I'm going to go back to the history briefly, guys. And it has become a man-made island.
Okay.
And then up until 1960s, it has been a place for citizens where they can just have a really good time for the summer and winter vacation.
Oh, nice.
And then, the 강변북로, the expressway along the Han River in the upper Han River side.
Yeah.
That construction started in 1968.
Okay.
And the city has had to use the sand from the Nodeul.
So it stole the sand from there.
They did.
And there's no beach there anymore.
No beach at all. And then people stopped visiting there. And ever since 2005, which is pretty recent, when the city bought the place and they try to make it as a cultural complex.
Yeah, and it's only recently that they really did a good job with the buildings on there. Maybe 2-3 years ago they were completed. There's restaurants and cafes. It's a lovely place to go. Some of you recognise in it. We'll get to your messages after a song break. This is Kain with Carnival, The Last Day. We have switched on the VLive service now, so you can send us messages about what you're seeing. Valerie says, 안녕하세요. BTS 노래부터 넣어줄 수 있나요? We've already played BTS's Butter today, Valerie, and that's a very interesting way of saying, can you put that on the playlist? Nota. Nice stuff. Good practicing your Korean anyway. We got lots of messages from our listeners about what you showed, Jen. So many people so happy to see that as well. Leon saying, I think that's where W24, the K-pop group, performed on Nodeul Island.
I did not know that.
It would be a nice performance venue, I think.
I mean, it's such a beautiful place with the Han River behind it. So I'm sure a lot of the K-pop stars will love to maybe shoot music videos there.
Yeah, that's a good idea, isn't it? I'd love to go and see that happen as well. The K-pop video be filmed would be cool, wouldn't it? You got some other ones?
Yeah, from Siska. Whoa, nice place. From Steve. Interesting performance with a message. Thank you for the lovely comments.
Yeah, Tropic Girl saying it kind of has circus vibes, maybe. Oh, was that the song rather than the Nodeul song? But I thought I got circus vibes. When you showed the overview of it, it felt a little bit like a circus, but maybe not as many clowns or performing animals.
I think you have a point, because if one says it's an island, you get to imagine maybe there are like a forest and nature revive, but actually it's very well, I would say, urbanized with a lot of facilities. It's really mostly packed with the buildings. That's the impression I got. And when I went into their official website, like I said before, it's been pretty recent that they've been working on this project to build this entire island like an opera house in Australia.
Oh, is that their kind of aim?
I think that was really the aim, to make it as a culture hub of the city. Yeah. And they have these 4 main themes for each side of the island. 4 themes: culture, food, beverage, music, and nature. And for each part of the island, as you said, it's kind of like a circus in the way that it's there are a lot of facilities and stages and music lounges.
And it looks lovely, just the whole space.
Very diverse and dynamic.
Yeah, and I think in the wintertime, in non-COVID times, on the big green area they put out an ice skating rink.
Oh, that's nice.
I hope they do that again this year, but maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. So what are we going to see in your second video? Yeah,
in the second video, you will continue to see the performance and some of the more beautiful exhibitions.
Let's check it out. Oh, is there some music going on?
It is. This time, you're hearing 국악. Korean traditional music.
With a cello as well.
Together with other Western instruments.
Wow. That looks nice and relaxing, doesn't it?
Yes, and this is another exhibit called Ways to Read a Road.
Was that just a big disco ball?
I thought it was just a ball, but as you can see, people can wear the headphone.
Oh.
And for each different time space, they have different songs.
Who are these people?
I think these were the staff. I think they were filming the SNS videos.
Okay, not an art performance, but everything is art.
Yeah, people were just festive.
And that's the Han River we just saw. And then this is...
Moving Street.
Oh, it looks a bit like Keith Haring or some characters.
It does, isn't it?
And then
this is the music lounge
indoors.
where people, inside watch a movie film together with the music. And this is the Han River that I got on my way back to the subway station.
You just saw in the bottom right-hand corner, that's the moon sculpture that they made there.
Oh, that's what you were talking about.
And I remember, I think it was maybe Cedric who went there, if I'm not mistaken, a previous guest of K-Patch. And in the evening times, you can get a boat from there to take you to Yeouido as well. And then you can just get off at Yeouido and it's much more accessible, which is quite a lovely thing to do as well, isn't it? That music concert, was that also a paid thing if you want to get closer?
Yes, it was.
So did you pay or were you far away?
I was there to film here and there. And even from a distance, still you can enjoy the music. Although you couldn't really see up close the performance people's face.
Yeah, I get that. But I would just see it all for free from a distance. I don't think I'd pay. Am I very stingy?
Actually, I will recommend you guys to enjoy the festival like me.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to caught up in one performance for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, if you paid, you'd feel like you must watch it all to get the value for money, right? Which is interesting. We've also got some messages now saying, Gugak, I fell for Gugak after watching a Korean singing show, battle between the vocalists of Gugak. It was absolutely amazing. This art festival seems really cool. So it covers pretty much like every aspect, music, performances, art pieces as well, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a new festival or not, but Seoul Street Art Festival, the Kori Chukje, doesn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah, so I did some research, and it's held by Seoul City and Seoul 문화재단. Actually, the festival was held in 3 spots, including Nodeul, Ireland, but also in Mulle and Yongsan.
Okay, separate sites.
Yeah, but it's not that far. It's all surrounding area. And theme for this year was 사라지는 and 살아나는. I think they tried to play with the pronunciation. It means something that is vanishing, also something that is reviving.
Yeah, those two words are slightly different in how they're spelled out, but sound very similar, don't they? And so is this a long-term event? It's been going on for a while, or have I just not heard about it?
Oh, it's an annual event that started since 2003. And for this year, I think they try to incorporate various themes related to nature, related to that free spirit of enjoying the street with their own passion and freedom, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a lovely place, I think, to go on a date on the weekend or something. It is getting a bit chilly. You could see Jen wearing quite a thick winter padded jacket as well.
I was all prepared with that thick padding.
I think because you are on the river as well, it's a little more chilly. But I always give this advice. I know some people don't want to go out in the cold winter season in Korea. You don't want to stay stuck indoors for like 3 months. So just put on a thick jacket, a hat, some gloves, go outside and get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Siska says, anyway, we can visit this place even when there's no festival as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's just open.
Yeah, there's no entry fee for this festival, but also in general, you can just walk inside. If you want to go in a cafe or a restaurant there, you have to pay, obviously.
Right. It's not in the video, but there was this beautiful cafe where you can read books and buy books. It was kind of like a book cafe.
Okay.
And also there was this food store that opens in a pop-up store way. So the restaurant changes regularly.
Okay.
And this time they were selling this vegetarian food dishes.
Ooh.
Something that you don't really find usually.
Yeah, it's becoming a trend. We talked about it on the show before as well, how more veganism and vegetarianism is springing up.
Yep.
Seems like they're jumping on that. Tropic Girl says there's such a variety of performances and shows there. Yeah, I think when there's not the festival, it's not that busy with so many different things. Like there might be one event going on or something like that, right? Seems like for the Seoul Street Art Festival, they had loads at the same time. Steve says, yeah, good mix also of traditional and the modern next to one another.
Yeah.
And Miss Andriani saying, what is the nearest subway station to Nodeul Island anyway? Since it's the Hangang, I'm guessing it can be reached from different directions.
Oh, I took off at the Nodeul station. They have the Nodeul station.
Wow, so it's not like the Nodeul Som itself. You don't come up there, but it's called Nodeul Station.
Yeah, it's called Nodeul. And once you take off, you have to cross the bridge, which didn't take that long.
Okay.
So I think it was okay.
Yeah, it'll be like a brisk walk, and as long as you're fit and healthy, there's nothing wrong. And you could even take the bicycle, rent it from the station where they have their bikes, and just ride over there.
You mean the 다릉이 that you took?
There's lots of bike riders. We actually did it from Bampo Bridge and rode
that's
all
a
the way
long
down.
ride.
But it's a wonderfully straight and no hills course all the way there. I thought that was
nice.
fantastic. Yeah. You could also take a taxi, which is very reasonably priced in Korea. Buses will drop you right outside as well. And I think it's the Hangang Bridge, right? That is the one that takes you there.
Yeah.
And the island is actually on both sides, I think, but the majority of things to do is the bit you filmed. And then you can walk on the other side. I think it's a bit more like nature, but there's not really much there. Let's get on to some more music, and we'll see what you've got for us listeners. Any kind of art festivals that are out and about, and any questions, send them in. This one is from Zico, artist. We're back after some Zico there, and we've got some listener content to show. We do have our new producer in, though, Yuna PD님. So I wonder if she's aware that she has to show these photos. I should have told her in the song break, but I got too caught up in chatting to you, Jen. So we do have these pictures. We're going to start off with... Wait, a question first. Chris Owok was on board saying, when does the Street Art Festival start? I'm sorry, Chris, but I think you've missed it, right?
Yeah, that was such an important question.
Yes.
Well, it started last Wednesday from November 10th, and it lasted on the day that I visited on Sunday, November 14th. So it's ended. But again, guys, this is an annual event. It's going to come up again next year, and hopefully maybe with more street foods.
Oh, yes, because with COVID, I'm guessing they kept that to a minimal this time around. And I'm not sure if Nodeul was one of the venues. I've talked about it before. The Pam Dokgebi Market, those street food festivals they had in Korea from basically spring until the end of autumn at places like the Pampo Bridge, and I think over in Dongdaemun, if I'm not mistaken. Nodeul Island would be a perfect place for a street food festival as well.
Yeah.
Just put a load of trucks out there. I'm not sure if they've done that before. Maybe they have. Our listener content, this is actually from Korea, and it's from Jarl and Jacoby, and they said, hello, Peter and Jen. This was taken nearby Seoul Station. We passed by it every day and every night and would stop to stare at this beautiful piece. We don't know who and what contributions he made. It's been 2 years and I'm still wondering, can you solve this mystery? Have
Yes,
you got...
Yoon Dong-ju.
Oh,
yeah,
we've
I can
solved
see
it for you.
The title of the poem there, 하늘 바람.
And the famous poet.
Very famous. He's known to be one of the most popular artist, not the artist, the writer, who did his activities, who wrote these beautiful poems under colonial era.
And that's the poem written out. We talked about Yoon Dong-ju recently and the film that is made about him as well, I believe. Dongju, it might be called in Korean. And I think it's all in black and white, if I'm not mistaken. And I reckon it was Kang Haner who played his character in the movie. Again, I have to fact check, but this is all off the top of my head. And yeah, it's I guess a little bit sad that there's no English plaque or English translation or any other language for that matter for foreign tourists, because Seoul Station is quite an international hub, but that seems like a permanent bit of art which is dedicated to him.
Yeah, and it's impressive that the poem that from the photo, it's about 새로운 길, which is relatively not that well known compared to like 별 해는 밤 and 서시, which is very famous poems.
One of his lesser known ones then, perhaps, meaning like a new road or a new way. And he unfortunately had a tragic demise at the hands of the Japanese, I think, while he was in prison, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you for sending that in, Jacoby.
Thank you.
And I hope you also say thank you because we solved your mystery. Well, I didn't. Jen did. Jackie does say, wow, a poet, many, many thanks. And yeah, our producer and Leon also confirmed that Kang Han-oh is the guy that plays him in the black and white movie, which we talked about, I don't know, about a month ago or so on the show. Next up, this is from Tropic Girl K. And wow, that man looks...
That's a real person?
Like a statue, doesn't it? But it is a real person, yeah.
God.
He said, I always enjoy hanging around Covent Garden in London when passing through watching the street performers. And they are amazing, right? He is, I guess, the statue man there.
I hope he's sitting on a chair. Some kind of a chair.
There is some kind of steel frame that goes in his trousers, because otherwise your muscles would have to be immense. And people in Covent Garden, they crowd around these people to watch, and you give donations and stuff. That's not a common thing you see in Korea too often.
No, I was about to talk about that. I mean, I get to see this kind of performance quite often in UK, but not in Korea.
Yeah, it's a little sad, isn't it? Covent Garden is the perfect place. I think Gwanghwamun Square would be perfect in Korea, but I guess Korea, we like to regulate things a bit more to make sure nothing goes wrong and stuff like that. And they often get audience participation, like I think you can see in this picture of a man on a very tall unicycle who's probably about to ride that.
Wow.
And a lot in Covent Garden is also based on the comedy aspect of things, which is fun. Jugglers on unicycles here as well. And I love it that it's just like impromptu. It's not planned. You don't know who's going to be there on a certain day. You just kind of show up and see what's going on.
You can just randomly perform?
Yeah, anyone can do it. You can just go on the street there, and there are some terrible performers that I've seen at Covent Garden. You said it's always great for a laugh, and Steve says, interesting performance, Kay. I thought it was a statue as well. And I think this next one is from Ing Yin, if I'm not mistaken, who has sent in an interesting photo, if we show it for you here. There's apparently a Malaysian creative arts festival that has performances and visual art, not as inclusive as the one Jennifer went to, mainly for youths who want photos for Instagram, not for families. This does look very Instagrammable, though, doesn't it?
It is. Looks very eye-catching, colorful. Is that a screen?
Yeah, it looks like some kind of projector and media art, right? And the photo itself is like a fisheye camera, so it's definitely for the gram, you can tell there. And then some other pieces of art here look like some mirrors or material screens laid outside.
With beautiful colors, orange, yellow.
And it seems, Ingeen, that you're not too familiar with this festival. Just like the Seoul Street Art Festival, I don't think everyone knows about it, but if you find out about it, it's great.
Yeah.
And it does look like musical performances as well. It would be nice if we could listen to that as well, but unfortunately not. Siska saying that is great, Ingeen. Thank you to all the listeners for sending it up. And Jen, you'll be back next week with a new topic. Any ideas what we're doing? Secret again?
Well, you know, I'm not sure if this is a Korean culture, but in autumn, you know, we are often maybe kind of pressured to read books.
It is the season of reading, right?
Yeah, it's a season of reading. So I happened to visit very special library or bookstore.
Oh, and we're pressured to read as well?
Right next week.
Were you forced to read?
I was forced to buy a book myself, which I will bring next time.
I'm looking forward to checking it out. We'll see you again next Thursday, Jen.
Have a great day.
Here is some Psy. It's art. 예술이야.